Hey guys, thought I'd do a normal movie review here. This review is on a favorite Hitchcock movie of mine, probably in my top five. This is the first Hitchcock movie to receive an R rating. Psycho is rated R, but it was re-rated later. So this is the first film of his to have an R rating, and that is Frenzy. I do have the case in my masterpiece collection, but I took it out, just for the hell of it. Frenzy is a very screwed up movie in many ways. Frenzy is about, it takes place in London. Well, I don't know if it takes place in London, but like Britain or whatever. And it's about these series of murders are going on, about the necktie murders, about a guy who rapes women and then he strangles them with his necktie. And this is what's going on in the movie. And what happens is this necktie murder kills Mrs. Blaney. Mrs. Blaney, it's a Mr. and Mrs. Blaney, and Mr. Blaney is a drunk who worked at a pub and he's out of work now at this point in the movie. And Mrs. Blaney is his wife who works at a marriage counseling thing. I don't remember their first names. But the necktie murderer ends up killing, raping, and strangling his wife, and then they think Mr. Blaney has done it. So now they're, going after Mr. Blaney, trying to find him. And Mr. Blaney's girlfriend, played by Anna Massey, who I don't remember her name in the movie either, is supporting him all the way through and everything. And then what happens is the necktie murderer ends up strangling and killing Mr. Blaney's girlfriend. So now, almost all things point to Mr. Blaney. And he ends up going to one of his friends, Bob, to see if he can help him hide out. But Bob Rusk ends up telling on him, ratting him out. And when he takes him to his apartment, he ends up telling the police, and Mr. Blaney gets arrested. And, but we know who the necktie murderer is in the movie. It's Bob Rusk. He is the necktie murderer. And so Mr. Blaney, vows revenge. And the police end up finding out that they accused the wrong man of the crimes. And Mr. Blaney ends up escaping from a hospital that he put himself in, and he's going to go kill Bob Rusk. So he goes to his apartment, and he sees someone laying in the bed, and he starts, beating him with this crowbar thing, and he lifts up a sheet and finds out it's another woman that had just been raped and strangled. And, and then a cop comes in and sees Mr. Blaney and the woman, and, then he thinks it's him. The cop thinks Mr. Blaney did it, but then we hear footsteps coming up the stairs. So they hide in the apartment, and Bob Rusk is coming up the stairs holding up a big trunk. And then that's how he ends up getting caught, and that's the end of the movie. Very good Hitchcock movie. Definitely his return. Definitely since Psycho with the Birds. That was definitely the movie where the Hitchcock touch returned. I would highly recommend this Hitchcock film. It's definitely one of his best that he's ever made. That was his penultimate movie, his second to last. The last one was Family Plot. But Frenzy, I love it. First day I saw it, I've loved it ever since. It's terrific. Cannot recommend it more if you haven't seen it yet. But Frenzy, it's a really good Hitchcock movie. Check it out and rate, subscribe, and leave comments.